I'm here at our studio in Phoenix, Arizona, where we record Ask the Exorcist, the International School of Exorcism, and the Advanced Academy. It's Memorial Day weekend, and I'm spending a little bit of time with the family before a very heavy schedule for the remainder of this summer. But like many of you, I was a bit transfixed by this recent wedding of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. It's history now. 1 billion plus people watched the most celebrated wedding in many, many decades. And everyone is wishing them to experience happy bliss from this point onward. But after the honeymoon is over, there are some very serious issues that this couple is going to have to face, and not just the adjustment of married life. I'm talking about curses. Most folks don't know much about the history of Meghan Markle, so let me fill you in. Tom and Doria, her parents, married back in 1979, not in a church, but in Los Angeles at the Self-Realization Fellowship. If you haven't read our book of world religions, you probably don't know what that means and who that's all about. The Self-Realization Fellowship was started by a Hindu yogi guru back at the early part of the 20th century. His name was Paramahansa Yogananda, and he taught something called Kriya Yoga. Now, Kriya Yoga, he taught, was an almost instant path to self-realization, oneness with God, and enlightenment. Now, Kriya Yoga is a form of cosmic consciousness, raising the Kundalini snake power at the base of the spine through the 7 chakras to achieve enlightenment and oneness with God. I will tell you, I've worked with many, many people who've done Kriya Yoga and have been part of the Self-Realization Fellowship, and the demons that come with it are some of the most difficult to dislodge. Some of the toughest exorcisms I've ever done have been involving people who've done Kriya Yoga. I don't want you to think that sweet Meghan Markle should be tainted by this guilt by association by her mother. After all, her mother's her mother. And I'm not saying that either she or her mother are bad people. Chances are both are pretty clueless about what they've gotten themselves into. But I do want to set the record straight. Paramahansa Yogananda taught, and you can read this in my book of religions, that the truest message of Christianity came through Kriya Yoga. It's the true message of Christ, and that removing hate to have a true Christ-like life is only possible through Kriya Yoga. That's self-realization. That's what Meghan's mom is part of. That's what that wedding at the Self-Realization Fellowship was all about. This is dangerous stuff, folks. Now, this is mom. It is not Meghan, but we know that these curses pass on. And even though Meghan converted to the Church of England, it doesn't remove that curse. Meghan's mother, Doria, is still practicing Kriya Yoga and is a teacher and a trainer, and has basically been that most of her adult life. That puts a powerful spiritual bondage upon Meghan. I pray that God will send someone to set her and Harry free so that they can go on to live happily ever after. And if you're involved in yoga, particularly Kriya Yoga, get out of it now so you can live happily eternally ever after.